Hey guys, how come nobody told me that The Last of Us season two has already started? Now I'm watching the last part of season one because it's been 8,000 years and I've forgotten what happened, except there were like mushroom zombies or something. So the sharp item on you may have noticed that this is not my Southwest. This is my Tim Shrugs cube. This is part of a little experiment that I'm doing. Some of you might remember I did a little competition with some of my different cues a couple of years ago, between 200 and 200 years ago. Um, I called it March Madness because I did it in March, and that was pick up a cue that I hadn't played with for a while, shoot with it for a couple days to try to get used to it, at least as much as I could in a couple of days, and basically just see which cue I shot best with. That was the point of that. And the point of what I'm doing now is I'm eliminating the get used to it part. I'm trying to see which cue I guess is like the most natural fit for me that I can pick up and don't have to think at all about things like squirt and spin and swerve and anything like that. It's just a natural fit for me and my shooting style and my stroke and all that. Because I know those cues are out there. This is actually kind of one of them. I am better with this cue after what, hour and a half now, than with that Southwest after almost 4 years. And I just am. I'm not saying that I can't make a ball with the Southwest, but I have to be like in the right frame of mind. I have to be thinking about it, and I have to adjust if I haven't played in a little while. I have to adjust for it. This cue didn't have to adjust. It was just there, just a natural cue. So just like I said, I'm not gonna miss every shot with the Southwest. I'm not gonna make every shot with some other cue that has a more natural fit for me. It's just about my average game. Where's my best average game? And frankly, especially as I get older, I'm not able or willing to put in that much effort thinking about compensating for squirt and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'm too tired. Sometimes I'm sick. Sometimes I'm too inebriated. Or maybe my girlfriend broke up with me. My dog died. So I would rather just let my interpol player 100% have the shot. And I just butt out. That's the way it's supposed to be anyway. But it's not the way that it's been, I don't know, like recently. I have felt like I needed to put in some effort, some mental effort, like with my Southwest. I felt like I needed to. Otherwise, I wasn't going to shoot as well as I was capable of shooting. I don't like that. I'd rather be capable of shooting as well as I can shoot, and don't want to have to think about adjusting and things like that, compensation and things like that, because there's going to be sometimes where I'm just not able to do it as well. Not able to do it as well. But that's what I'm doing. I'm shooting with this cue. Um, Yesterday I was shooting with my main PCHR. You guys have seen that one before as well. Um, Shot quite well with this. I shot with my Richard Black, and it was inconsistent for me in my hands with my stroke and all that. It was pretty inconsistent. My Pete Oman was the same way, pretty inconsistent. There are just cues that are more of a natural fit for me than other cues, and that's just all I'm trying to do here. I've been in a little bit of a mood to where I don't care as much about street career as I used to. I'm pretty sure I mentioned before that I have a spreadsheet with all kinds of information about my various cues. And one of the columns in that spreadsheet is street cred. And for me, for whatever reason, that street cred column was the most important. It was more important to me than how well I shot with a cue. More important for me than how much I spent on the cue, how much other people might like the cue. The street cred for me was, well, it wasn't everything, but it was way the heck up there. That's one of the reasons that I've been shooting with that Southwest, sticking with that Southwest for as long as I have been, is because of that. It's got more street cred for me than any of my other cues. It just does. I'm not saying it has more than like a Tim Scruggs or a Richard Black. A lot of people might put either one of those cue makers above a Southwest or a Tascarella. But for me, in my mind, I've always had an unwarranted and probably unhealthy obsession, admiration for Southwest cues. And I still do. It's just not as important to me now as it used to be. Now, what's important to me is in the limited time or whatever that I have left to be a decent player, to kind of try to stretch that out as much as I can and make balls and have fun with making balls, not necessarily have fun playing with a cue that I think's really cool, but have fun making balls and winning when I can, things like that. A big part of that decision, that was way too hard. Big part of this decision has been because 99% of my pool playing is down here in my basement. I hardly ever get to go out anymore and play. This infection in this arm is now spread to this arm. It's painful to shoot for more than an hour, so why bother go out and why bother going anywhere? That kind of thing. So most of my play is just down here. And who am I trying to impress down here with a cue with really good street cred? I'm going to miss this shot, by the way. Maybe not. Maybe I'll miss this shot. Once you get out of line, once I get out of line, it's like the true test for me is once I get out of line, can I get back in? When I'm shooting well, I can. When I'm not shooting as well, I can't. I got the 6 in my way if I go straight across. I've got the 9 in my way if I try to do like a 2-rail path. And out of the way, it's a decently tough shot. Well, it's more than decently tough for me. Let's hit both balls. That'll work. All I gotta do is make this one and I'm back in line. But that's not the point. This is not a how to get out of line and back in line video. I just kind of want to talk about what I'm doing, because for some people, maybe even most people, there's going to be a cue that is a more natural fit than some other cues. Not everybody's crazy person like me, and that's 40 pool cues, and they can go through them and figure out which one is best for them. I don't know the answer to that question. What I really know is I have cues that are better for me as a natural fit for me than others. Now, I picked up house cues in the past. I distinctly remember one in Kent, Washington, several years ago. Don't know why I had a house cue, but I was shooting with it. It was the best house cue ever. Until a couple years ago at Buffalo's, me and this other guy were playing with this house cue, and that was the best cue ever. The stupid house cue. It was just a natural fit for me, and the one in Buffalo, as it turned out, it was a natural fit for that guy as well. And that's all I'm trying to do with all this. So if you guys see me on a video like right now, this cue or this shaft, this cue was right the first time, and the next video you see me with something else, Ryan McDermott D12. In the next video you see me with something else, or maybe my Sean R12. It doesn't mean that I'm a completely crazy person. It means I'm trying something. I'm trying something. I'm trying to see which cue am I kind of immediately used to, and I don't have to think about practice strokes and all that. I'm trying to limit myself to 0 practice strokes on these shots. I'm not doing it every time. And what I count as 0 is that to the approach to the ball, that initial approach, I'm not counting that as a practice stroke. And the reason I'm trying to do 0 practice strokes is not because that's the magic number for pool. Is because that's supposed to be a wake up call for my inner pool player, who I've called Obi-Wan Moscone. So this is your shot, dude. I'm out of it. I got you lined up, and that's it. Now make the ball. And in some cases, and with some cues, that's exactly what he's doing. Some cases he's not, but this is why we practice. And this is why I'm trying this. Just because I'm shooting pretty well with this cue doesn't mean this is going to be the best natural fit of a cue for me. I may have something in the case that is better, that just feels a little bit more natural, whatever. Um, I mentioned my Sean R12. I'm excited to get that one out and check that one out. Uh, my main feature, I shot really well with that one. Even my McDermott D12. Some cues are just a really good natural fit for me and my style, all that. And maybe some of my viewers might have the opportunity to, I don't know, find the cue that is the most natural fit for them. They're going to be out there. Just can you find it? Do you want to find it? Somebody told me 2 years ago that, oh, Dave, I know you shoot with a Southwest, but the most natural fitting cue for you is a Q-Tech. I don't care. I'm not going to shoot with a Q-Tech. I'm actually still not going to shoot with a Q-Tech as my main cue. Remember I said street cred wasn't as important? It is still important to me. I still want to have something, this is a Tim Shrugs, that is decent, that I can be a little bit proud of. I'm not going to be proud of a Q-Tech. I'm just not. Sorry, Q-Tech. You guys make great products, very well constructed, very solid, all that. I have a Q-Tech brake cue, but it's not going to be my main shooting cue. Unless you want to get in one of those $billion sponsorship deals like Earl and Shane and Allison and, well, Federer for a while. Q-Tech has always had some really good players in their stable. You ever notice that? I certainly have. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this because I'm trying to watch. I'm watching the last episode of season 1 of The Last of Us, so I kind of have a clue about who these people are and all that. Then I can go and start watching season 2. I'm excited about this, but you know, everybody's got to be excited about something, and I like the show, so I'm gonna watch it. And that's all I have to say. Thanks, guys.